sticking your nose in my business. Well, this time I'm going to teach you a lesson.
As long as you're holding class as Penguin, perhaps you'd include Batgirl, too.
These videos are not for children. If you are a children, then piss off.
Hey there guys, it's me, your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and here with me as always is Reyes from ReyesWorldTV. Reyes, say hi to the people at home.
Hey!
We're here to give you our top 5 Batgirls.
I'll start first because I feel like you would definitely be surprised at my number 5.
Oh boy, hold on, I'm going to take a shot really quick. Sometimes Reyes says things and I have to become an alcoholic for the remainder of our conversation in order to keep the friendship intact, so...
Enola Craig from the Batman 60s show.
Yvonne,
whatever.
Enola Craig.
I just appreciate everything she did for the show. Like, she didn't come off weak. I appreciate the color scheme for her outfit. As far as my knowledge goes, this is probably the first live action appearance of Batgirl.
It absolutely was, yes.
I think she just nailed it for the first one. Like I said, she came off super strong. Every time she was on screen, she didn't, again, she was a sidekick, but, she could hold her own. And I feel like that's very important when it comes to the Batgirl. Because you don't want Batgirl to be just this damsel in distress type situations. Because
no, of course not. That's what Robin was on the show for.
Yeah, because the thing is that, first of all, it shows how crappy Bruce's training is. That's one. But secondly, like I said, she just did a really good job with it, and especially being the first, I feel like she deserves that spot.
Okay, I can dig it. I think you're gonna be surprised with who my number 1 pick is, but we'll get.
Let me guess.
No, don't guess yet. Guess when I'm at number 2. All right, or if I say it, or if I say who you thought was number 1 before that.
Okay.
All right, so my number 5 pick is Angie Harmon. She played. She didn't play Batgirl, and I should explain this. When we say Batgirl, it's the same way in our Nightwing video. We said Nightwing, but we meant Dick Grayson. It's the same basic thing here. When we say Batgirl, we really mean Barbara Gordon. We're talking about the best Barbara Gordon. So even if the person played Barbara Gordon but didn't play Batgirl, she gets a place on this list. So my number 5 pick is Angie Harmon from Batman Beyond. She played an older Barbara Gordon, or Commissioner Gordon, the second Commissioner Gordon, actually. And I really have come to like this performance the older I get. When I was younger, I was like, why couldn't they just get Tara Strong, who played Batgirl in the animated series, or at least in the... she was the second voice to play her in the animated series. I was like, why couldn't they just get her? She would have done fine. This is obviously an older Batgirl, but it's also a much more mature take on the character, and she's an older woman now. I thought that she had a really great voice for somebody who's experienced a lot, because Angie Harmon was not an old woman when she did this role, but she really came off. This was a very dignified version of the character. It's somebody who's experienced a lot, who's been through hell and back over the years, especially when you watch the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker movie. Just the performance is there. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot I can say other than Angie Harmon made the character come off, and I'm sure Andrea Romano had a lot to do with it too in instructing. She really came off more like a female version of her father, of Commissioner Gordon. And I think that's fucking great because, obviously, typically, we all know what happens usually. Batgirl becomes Oracle, but that was not the case in this. They kind of needed Batman in the Oracle role to a degree with Terry's Batman Beyond. Bruce was the one who was in his ear, doing all the computer work and, doing the investigating. That was Bruce's role now. So without that, I think the best thing to do with the Barbara Gordon character is to let her assume her father's mantle. To become the next commissioner was such a smart and different take on the future of the character, and I really, really enjoy it. The really interesting thing is it didn't sound like a cartoon character. It sounded like somebody who's really had these real life bad experiences in this role, learning how to not only cope with them, but to come out on the other side and be in a leading role, being in a commanding role as the commissioner of the Gotham City Police. I think that's awesome.
Well, that was a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A lot to process.
I'm sorry.
But my number 4 is the chick from Birds of Prey.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I felt like, just like after watching the show, that she definitely held down everything. Like, she definitely played Oracle perfectly. Agreed. Her love life was kind of crappy for a little bit.
Agreed.
But, she stuck it out. She got some D. Wheelchair and all.
Oh my god. The fuck is?
What? I'm happy for her. But...
I'm being supportive!
Yeah, exactly. But, there's not much I could really say because obviously the show had, one season? Maybe 2?
No, the show had 1 season.
I felt like she did actually a really bang-up job, and then there was points where, you see her in the suit, and I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And this, like I said, there's not really much I could say, because all, my choices... for this list in general, they kind of have a repeating method. They really hold their own. And I felt like even though, she was taking whatever serum to stand up and stuff like that, she still was kicking ass. And even though the show wasn't all that good, I still enjoyed her performance in it. Okay.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yvonne.
My number 4 pick is Yvonne Craig from the Batman 60 show. It's Yvonne. I found that out. It's Yvonne Craig from the Batman 60 show. As I was putting together this list, there was because obviously we have a lot more women who have voiced the voiced the role of Batgirl or Barbara Gordon than we have people who have acted the role of Batgirl or Barbara Gordon. And she came up a couple times, and for some reason I didn't have her on my list. But then I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? This would be the most ridiculous list I've ever made if I didn't put her on it." Because, first off, let me put it to you like this. The character of Barbara Gordon exists because of the 60 show. This is, there was a Batgirl before, but the 60 show is the one that introduced Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Mm-hmm. So, the show birthed this character, and everything that we're talking about today exists because of that show. On top of that, let me say this. She was fucking awesome. She was great in this role, sure. They allowed her to kick ass just like the guys, which, by the way, this was a show that was in the fucking 60s. So that was not typically the case. This was huge for the time. Not to be SJW. This was pretty fucking progressive of them, if we're being real. On top of that, let me say this. I think she might even be a little bit too low on my list, because I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I probably should have switched her in the next one. Not only did she birth the character with the show, but she also, I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like she was more legitimate than both Batman and Robin on that show. It was a campy show, obviously, and it's laughably goofy, but it seemed like Batgirl was significantly less goofy than everybody else on the show. She seemed a lot more granted, yeah, of course, by today's standards, she'd still be kind of goofy. In comparison to everything else, the show really seemed to kind of fucking legitimize her more than they did Batman and Robin. Her lines also seemed a little bit more authentic. Her delivery was fucking on point. Here's this person who seems a little bit more realistic in this live-action cartoon, but she still doesn't seem out of place. I don't know, how do you do that? I can't even articulate what she did. 100%, this list would be incomplete if she wasn't on it. She was awesome, and you gotta give her a due. Of course, this is gonna go in the video as my number 4, but in hindsight, I'm switching my number 4 and my number 3. This is actually my number 3, but I'm saying it in a number 4 spot. This is a confusing show. We don't plan this shit out. So, go ahead, Reyes. Who's your number 3 now, I think, right?
My number 3 is the chick from The Joker Returns. I forgot her name. You said it earlier.
From The Joker Returns?
Yeah, the Batman Beyond movie.
Oh, she was in the Batman Beyond show as well.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. But
Angie Harmon.
Yeah. Overall, like I said, she stuck out. You always hear about people taking the mantle off of Bruce. Well, this one, she took the mantle off her father, being commissioner. When it comes to talking about this character in general, you don't really see characters who are usually good in like a younger state progress really well later on that much when it comes to like different writings and whatnot. And I felt like for this one, they wrote it pretty well. They gave her due diligence. They put some respect on her name. She ain't in a wheelchair, but like she's still kicking ass.
Because that's what people in wheelchairs are known to do, is to kick ass in the wheelchair. That was a good one, Reyes.
Some of them can. And
no, they can't literally kick ass if they're in a fucking wheelchair, Reyes.
I mean, they could try.
God damn it, Reyes.
But yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay, I accept that. I think like we're gonna have all the same people, just in a different order in this one.
Maybe.
My number 3 pick is ALYSON Stoner, because I like her last name. No, ALYSON Stoner, who played the character in Young Justice. I don't think we got like a shitload of time with her as the character, but I've been a fan of ALYSON Stoner in general. You know her as well, Reyes?
Do I?
You do? Because just like we did with the Nightwing video, and it was like, Jesse McCartney, you know who that is, and you're like, I do. I was like, yeah, he not only does he play Nightwing in Young Justice, but he's also a Kingdom Hearts character. So
ALYSON is this chick a Kingdom Hearts character?
What?
Is she a Kingdom Hearts character?
Yes, she is. But yeah, no, I've always liked ALYSON Stoner. She's a great actress. She's a fucking even better voice actress. She's actually played Batgirl in a couple of things. I think she was also Batgirl in that Lego Batman movie that we watched. Not Lego Batman, but like the Family Matters Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, ALYSON Stoner did a great job as Batgirl. Like, she came off as very believable. I believed her relationship with Dick Grayson, even if I didn't always believe Dick Grayson's voice should be coming out of a full-grown man, because Jesse McCartney sounds like a child. I would not mind hearing her voice the character again. But yeah, no, she gives a really believable performance. I don't know how else to describe that, because like I feel like a lot of times in voice acting, you're just like you believe into it because you're like, yeah, I want the story to progress, but like the lines don't come off as authentic. That's not a problem with ALYSON Stoner. She's a pretty good actress, so
yeah,
she's my number 4 pick that I'm saying at the number 3 spot because I changed my mind.
Well, my number 2 is, and I don't know names because I forgot to say the names, but the chick from the animated series.
Okay, now here's the problem. There was 2 voices in the animated series, so specifically, which one you talking?
When she's Batgirl.
Nope, still 2 voices. You're gonna have to be more... Okay. When you're thinking of the voice that you're thinking of, what suit is she wearing? What color is the suit that she's wearing?
Purple. No. The gray, the grayish one.
Okay, so the voice of Batgirl. You're talking about the gray one with the yellow symbol.
Yeah. Yes.
That was Melissa Gilbert.
Because I think the first time I've seen like Batgirl, like it was in the animated series, and honestly speaking, like did a phenomenal job. Most of the time when I hear Batgirl, that's usually the first voice I think about. Yeah, that's pretty much it for it. Like I just like her performance. Like she really sticks out like a sore thumb, and pretty much, it's iconic because it's also part of the animated series, and obviously the animated series is pretty much, a Batman Bible in a nutshell, so...
In a way.
Yeah, in a way, because it pretty much is, because, like, again, like, speaking outside of just, like, her, like, again, when people want to emulate a Batman voice or a Joker voice, it's usually from the animated series. So it's kind of like the law of like Batman voice acting.
Okay, well for me, my number 2 is actually Tara Strong from the animated series. Tara Strong is the woman who took over the voice, and I thought To me, she did a much better job. I actually never liked the voice that you just mentioned. I always felt that the voice seemed like it didn't fit the character. It seemed like she was a little bit too old to be the character. I wasn't really a fan. Even when I was a kid, I remember thinking, like, oh, it's a little weird. I'll say this. I think it fit Barbara Gordon a little bit, but like it definitely didn't fit Batgirl, and it didn't. I didn't even like it that much as Barbara Gordon either. But I'm just saying, I thought it fit more Barbara than it did Batgirl. I was not a fan of that. However, I thought Tara Strong brought this really youthful and real sounding voice to the character. When I think of Batgirl, like I always think of Tara Strong's time as the character. So much so that like when she took over the role of Harley Quinn, I was like, oh. Does this mean she's not going to be Batgirl anymore? Because I thought that she sounds great as Batgirl. And it's weird because Tara Strong typically has a very cartoony sounding voice. She plays Harley Quinn in most things, so you know how she sounds, how she can sound. She played Bubble from the fucking Powerpuff Girls. Like she's Timmy Turner. She played Timmy Turner. She has a very, very, very cartoony sounding voice, right?
Bubbly.
Yeah, very, very bubbly. But like when she plays Batgirl, it doesn't, like I think I said this before, but like about another character, but it doesn't sound like a cartoon character's voice. It sounds like a real voice coming out of a cartoon character. So I think I actually said that about Angie Harmon, who plays the character in the future when she's older. But like I always really enjoyed her take on Batgirl, and like I think that she's highly underrated. Personally, I much prefer her over Melissa Gilbert. And even aesthetically, like the version of the character that she plays, like the black and the yellow costume, I always liked that a lot better than the other suit. Because the other suit to me always looked like a saggy Batman costume put on a younger woman, you know. But yeah, no, I really, when I think of Batgirl, I think of Tara Strong, always. One of my favorite voice actresses, and like one of my favorite roles that one of my favorite voice actresses have done. So that is my number 2 pick, and I'm locking it in. I'm standing by that.
I'll stand my ground.
Okay, so who's your number 1 pick? Here's the real question.
My number 1 is Ashley Greene from Arkham Knight.
I fucking knew it. I know. She's not even on my list. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just think she's like the perfect voice for it, you know, because also I just feel like I spent the most time with that Batgirl too, you know, just replaying the levels, you know, trying to find out all the secrets and whatnot. As you start to like really hear her out, you know, she's very convincing, really on her game and whatnot. Like, just ideally, like that's pretty much Batgirl. Like, if there was like an animated thing, like I would want her to do it.
I don't think that she's bad. I think that she's pretty good. She doesn't make my top 5, but like I thought she was pretty good. I understand that. I gotta say I'm surprised that she's number 1 on your top 5. Like I definitely expected her to be on your top 5, but like number 1, I'm like, whoa, really?
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is DINA MEYER from Birds of Prey.
Okay, I had a feeling.
Yeah. I agree with what you said. Listen, I have nostalgic feelings about that show. I know the show's not great. I like it for what it is when it isn't stupid, which it could be sometimes. I'm in agreement with you that like she held the show down. To me, she was the most important character, and she was the best performance on all of the show.
Yes.
I always bought like to me that was exactly what I imagined a grown wheelchair bound Barbara Gordon would be like, and like Dinah does a great job of just portraying the character as very human. It's a superhero show, you know what I mean? You could make it very goofy very easily, and it seemed like an earnest performance. Honestly, it seemed like, you know, we got to see her as the super smart you know, leader of the Birds of Prey, but we also got to see a vulnerable human being as well. You know, like her heart gets broken, her boyfriend gets murdered. Sorry for the spoilers. You know, but like all of these things, I think I think really made the Barbara, like her time as Barbara Gordon stand out to me. If this show, if you have to like go back and watch Birds of Prey, like I'm sure a lot of people won't, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't want to, but if there was ever, if there was ever one reason to watch the Birds of Prey TV series, it would
to end your life.
No, no. It would be because of her performance. She was a really fucking great Oracle and a really great Barbara Gordon. There's really nothing more that I can articulate or I can better say other than like she was the role. She was so fucking great in the role. Like she was mature and like, you know, but like she wasn't a she wasn't a buzzkill. Always, you know what I mean? Like she looked after Huntress and the Black Canary's daughter, but like she also, you know, she had her own social life. She had a boyfriend. She, you know, she had
the D.
Jesus Christ. You know, like this to me was the most human and realistic version of Barbara Gordon that has existed. I know it's on a rinky-dink show that a lot of people don't really care for. I know that it's not a performance that a lot of people talk about, but to me, this is always like every time I see that chick, like in anything since then, I'm always like, oh, hey, look, it's Barbara Gordon. Why is she walking? And even, you know what, even in the flashback scenes, I almost neglected to say, even in the flashback scenes, which there were, seeing her as Batgirl, to a degree, it felt right.
They all did phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever heard a bad Batgirl per se. I just had favorites, but I think that's one of those situations that when you hear like a Batgirl, I never heard like a bad one.
I did Melissa Gilbert, who's the number 2 on your list.
You're trash.
I'm sorry, I did not like her. With that being said, I was your least favorite YouTuber, the Infuso. Here with me was ReyesWorldTV, and that was our take on the best Batwomen. Batgirls.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was V Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
Catch him next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.